Hi everyone, this is Dr. Courtney Pegram, and I am here on day 14 with Quarantine Parenting. Thanks for continuing to listen to me and actually reaching out, sharing resources. I am super grateful, and I'm happy to be with you today because we all need that little boost, that online community, and sometimes just someone to be there. So I am here with you in this moment. So today my whole goal is to recap our week together, kind of talk about the main points that we went over, and then talk about one of the strategies to bring us into the weekend. So on Fridays, I really like to spend some time exploring my ups, my downs, and finding some moments of gratitude. And really I want to show you a quick thing that I do that is really helpful. It's just a technique. So let's get started. So what did we talk about this week? So we did a Facebook Live on social media, tons of resources and strategies out there. We have developed a online quick crash course about cyberbullying and cyber drama. We have also together, we kind of talked about how to address the coronavirus with your children. And then we closed off with yesterday, I did a quick video. It was my birthday, yay! And I had to go for an emergency root canal, yay! And everything turned out great. I am super grateful from the bottom of my heart that a doctor was willing to see me. I'm a dentist. And that I was able to fix this because I was extremely scared. And if you don't know me, I almost have a phobia of dentists, so those things combined was pretty stressful. But I got through it, and I'm so grateful because now I can recover, and I cut down on all the Advil I was taking, which is pretty dangerous right now, what I'm seeing on the news. So that's basically my week, and I'm happy to share my week with you. The things that I want us to remember about this week and what we've been through is always having those conversations as things evolve on the news with the coronavirus with our children. So asking them how they understand it, how they feel about it, what they're hearing. Because it's really important in those moments when our children are picking up false information or start placing blame or make any racial comments to have corrective measures in place. In this time of need, as we are socially isolated, it's really important to stay together as an online community versus separating each other. There's no time right now for hate. There's time for love, for healing, for support. And that's really important because sometimes our children don't understand the words they're saying, how they're meant, or what they're repeating. So corrective measures is a great strategy, which means is in that moment, you just try to, so if your child is talking to someone else, you just say, hey, just finish what you're saying, we're gonna have a talk later. Or you can, I use transition statement of interrupting, where I'm like, oh, I hear what you're saying, we just gotta go for a second, we'll be back. Because especially if you're on FaceTime or you're I've seen some people, when they're walking, they have distance conversations or things like that. And just like your child, my child wants to talk to people, so any opportunity she can have to a conversation or feel she's connecting or adding value to a discussion, she wants to chime in. And sometimes the things she says is not okay. What's important in those moments is the corrective measure technique, is you do not shame your child, talk over them, encourage them, right, or blame them. So for me, with my daughter, the best strategy for her, because she's a little more shy and she likes to try to make connections with people and she doesn't like hurting people's feelings, or she's really doesn't like disappointment and she gets embarrassed easily, is the best thing I can do is be like, hey, I kind of let her play it out and close out the conversation, and then I'll say hey, I just need to talk to you right after. Immediately after the conversation, we talk about what she said, why it's not okay. And I always say, honey, you didn't know. And that's, you're learning. These are learning opportunities. This is the time that we can connect when these things happen. I'm here to protect you, and I'm here to make sure that you know what to say and when to say it, and to understand why it's okay and why it's not okay to say certain things. So especially now with our children, there's been a lot, we've seen them on the news or even our social media or anywhere, that there's a lot of blame and there's some hate going on. So again, going back to love, support, care, online community, and teaching our kids about that is super important. So always having those conversations, just not making it a one and done, but always bringing back about hey, how are you feeling? What are you hearing? and what is appropriate and inappropriate to say. Last but not least, the why. You always want to explain the why. So that was some of the things. So also yesterday, so I'm going to share with you what I did and how that might help you. So it's for the gratitude activity. So yesterday was kind of a bummer. It was my big 4-0. I was very excited. My husband and I were planning this ski trip, and we were going to Jackson Hole. That's like my dream spot. I wanted to go. I had hiking, biking, I was going to go skiing. I had this whole day planned out. I was so excited. And we had to cancel the trip. I was extremely bummed. And I also understood. So then add that in to being quarantined. And my family is a more high risk because my husband's still working. So we have to pretty much keep ourselves separate from everyone. And then having had an emergency root canal, it wasn't the best day. But in the moment when I really was feeling overwhelmed, it was actually at the dentist, because I told you I'm terrified of dentists. I took a moment, I took a deep breath, and I sat with myself before they saw me. And I said, okay, in this moment, what can I find that I'm grateful for, right? Because I'm in pain, I'm really sad, I'm extremely terrified, right? But what am I grateful for? And I could find at least 3 things. Well, I was grateful for my health, right? I am not sick. I am able to get to the dentist. My husband was able to drive me. I'm grateful for that. I was grateful that I knew that after the dentist procedure, I'd feel a lot better. I was grateful that, the night before we knew this was going to happen, we were able to have some sushi, right? So I started thinking of all the things, the small little moments of joy, or what brings me joy and why I'm grateful. I'm also grateful because, my husband is still working, and that I have an opportunity to, I'm doing classes online right now. I'm doing group coaching online. I'm grateful that I can still build my business in this moment of uncertainty, this moment of anxiety, of not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So in the moments like that, that's when I was okay, so I still have a lot going on for me. Maybe this day is not exactly like I planned for, but there's still some things that are pretty cool for me, that are good. And last but not least, I'm really grateful because my sister did the drive-by birthday yesterday, and she got my brother and my mother on the phone on FaceTime, and they sang me happy birthday. They left all the stuff on the porch. And I was just so happy in that moment, because it didn't take a big ski trip to welcome me to my 40s. It took love. And my sister took that time with my family to do that. My mom made me the cake, and she made me soup too, which was really helpful because I couldn't really eat anything. So that's what I'm grateful for. It's the small moments that make the biggest difference. I'm always going to remember my 40th. Why? Because in that moment, I felt so loved by people that are around me. So find those moments of joy, those small little snippets that keep you grounded and give you comfort. That's what's going to help you get through this, right? So create a journal of gratitude statements. That's awesome. I recommend that you do them in the morning when you're fresh. You want to start off on the right foot. Throughout the day when you're starting to feel sad, right? Just start listing out some of the things that you're grateful for. At first it might be hard, but just try it. It's just your thoughts. You have nothing to lose. It's just your thoughts. If we could just practice our thoughts throughout this process to help shift our emotions, then we have better perspective. And like I say in all my trainings that I've been doing online, a positive mindset opens doors to creative thinking. We have to be creative thinkers right now, because when we get stuck, when we're overwhelmed, we're anxious, we're negative, there's no creative movement, right? So you need to get to a positive mindset to have creative outlet, to have creative ideas, because right now it's about an innovative thinking of how we will survive, how we will be sane, healthy, and how also we need to grow our businesses. So that's what I want to say in closing. So I'm leaving you with this for today. Find small ways to share gratitude statements the more you can. Take a 15-minute walk and just talk to yourself, right? Go through what you're grateful for. Go through those little moments that bring you joy. But make sure you're doing it, right? Because if your thoughts are constantly racing about the things that aren't working out for you, that's putting you in a negative mindset. And right now, the only thing we can control is our thoughts. So that is it for me today. I will check in with you tomorrow. I put together some ideas of weekend activities that you can do, some fun challenges that I've got from different small companies or businesses or even like podcasts I've been sharing. So I'll get that up for you tomorrow. So I'm excited to be with you tomorrow. So thank you all for joining me. Thanks for welcoming me into your homes, your community, and making us together a bigger online platform to survive and stay sane. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye.